Update 8 of Grand Peace Online. Now, this whole entire update, it feels like it's not here, like it's very distant, because it's been a while since Grand Peace Online has like been in the light for Roblox. Recently, there's been such a huge influx of different type of games, it's just crazy. There's so much games coming out, so Grand Peace Online not receiving any major update would definitely have some people fall off the game. However, I'm here to talk about Update 8 of Grand Peace Online. Now I'm gonna split this video up into two parts. The first part, I'm just going to cover all of the guaranteed things that we know is actually coming towards Update 8. Now while editing this video, FOU actually dropped a trailer for something else that's coming, so I guess I'll just start with that, but I kind of talked about it later on. This is actually going to be Venom, Know Me. Pretty much just the poison fruit. This fruit was sneaked to us before from Blues, and it's actually being confirmed, like official confirmation from FOU himself. So yeah, it's actually coming for Update 8 as well, and this also does fit the theme of some stuff that I'm going to be talking about later on inside the video, which is going to be Impel down. But Venom is coming, and FOU did actually revamp some of the skills and how they work from what it was before, because Venom before, it did look pretty mediocre, even though we just saw the base, but FOU actually did revamp it and change some of the stuff around. I personally do like Venom. I think it's cool. If you want to see what I fully think about it, I'll have it come inside the corner with like the information tab at the top, so you can just click on it. But Venom is a cool fruit, and that is one of the things coming towards Update 8. Now what I do want to say is that the major thing coming to Grand Peace Online that we all know for sure, which is also confirmed, is that Impel down is going to be the main takeaway of Update 8. It's been confirmed since the 21st of December. Technically, they haven't said specific things, but if you look at this image on your screen right now, I'm going to put a side-by-side of this image and Impel down, and you can actually see for yourself the similarities that they share. This island just looks crazy. You can already tell it's going to have deeper levels. I mean, it's literally Impel down based off of the One Piece anime. Just in case you don't know what Impel down is, it's pretty much just like a sea prison, and yeah, the deeper you go, the more the water pressure gets and stuff. It's like it's just the prison over the water. We only have two things for it right now. The first one was actually just Impel down itself, like the whole entire outside of it, where you can see the island floating over the water. And the second one is kind of like an entrance to, I guess, a layer in Impel down, and we don't know anything else outside of that, is what I would say if we didn't know anything else outside of that. Now this is the exact words from a developer for the game named Kuro. I'm telling you, this Kuro, he's just been on point. He's been dropping the most information recently about the game, and it was also the same thing when Tori was coming out. What Kuro said on the 7th of February is that making big strides with Impel down, I think you guys are really going to like this update. And Kuro also followed it up, and he said, especially those of you who like PvE based updates. So what this is basically I'm not going to say it's fully confirmed, but what this is confirming is that Impel down is going to be an update catered to the people who enjoy the main game stuff more. Now, me personally, I like both. I personally would prefer an update where there's BR mode, and there's also some main game stuff as well. And I feel like this update would actually deliver that too. So on the topic of Impel down, since Kuro said that it's going to be like PvE based updates, what I personally think is going to be with Impel down is that there's going to be two things. One, it's going to be a public server event where, kind of like Whitebeard, where a lot of players can come to this prison, and there'll probably be like, let's say, a whole entire issue going on to the prison, like the prisoners are escaping or the prisoners are breaking out of their cell. And after that, the players would go to this prison, and they would simply have to fight all of the mobs and people in the prison to help bring the order back. So I think it could be a whole entire public server event where everybody can do it, or it could be an instance dungeon with a special reward or like a chance to get a special weapon. Now for the second option, before I go into it, I do feel like it's what I would actually prefer, because an instance dungeon just sounds way more cooler than just having it kind of like Whitebeard. Nobody really does Whitebeard anymore, and you know, it's an old update, but it's like nobody inside the servers all coming together to fight Whitebeard. Moving on with this idea of the instance dungeon, I feel like this would create like the opportunity for you to do a little bit more than what you could do with just the public. The main issue with doing it in the public would be that people could just go, it would be very laggy, because imagine you do that and then somebody else goes to fight Whitebeard, and then there's just like a bunch of CBs being spawned and stuff like that. it could make the server become very, very laggy, and it's just like, it's not really optimal. Plus, there are dumb people inside this game. There are. Dumb people will do dumb things. So to prevent that, if it's an instance dungeon, you can go in with your friends or group of people, and you can have these specific dungeon runs. And I feel like if there's not one exact route that you have to follow to get to the dungeon, it would also add on to it as well. So it's like, if it's an instance dungeon, it would be very, very cool if there's like multiple things for you to do. You could solve a puzzle to go deeper down, or you could just like cheat with one of the guards to do some type of special quest. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but I do feel like Impel down could be a very good thing, especially for PvE, because PvE, people wouldn't strictly just like, okay, you beat this wave of bosses, move to the next one, move to the next one, move to the next one, then the big final boss. It would be cool if there's mix-ups in there where you have to like use your brain actually to do certain things. But I definitely do feel like Impel down would be a really cool way to introduce this, especially since there's 6 levels to Impel down. I had the wrong amount of levels, but since there's 6 levels to it, you have an option to do 6 different things. So it's just like, there's so much opportunity with this, and I do feel like I have faith that the GPO developers will actually do something very, very cool with this Impel down update. However, moving on from that, the next soft confirmation that we have coming towards this update is actually going to be something related towards Battle Royale mode. Now, the only reason I'm saying soft confirmed is because it's not from any specific GPO developer that I know of right now. It's actually from a YouTuber whose name is ROBUX. Now, what Ag said on the 8th was that the GPO BR map designer is asking for suggestions for the next map. Put all of your suggestions in until you wake up. I'm not gonna go through his stuff and just talk about what he's probably gonna be talking about for his video. I'll just specifically talk about my suggestion, and what I suggested was that they have different separated islands with their own hazard effects. And a prime example of this would kind of be like Wano. So I provided this image, and if you look at Wano, kind of how I broke it down, I said that like maybe you could have Curry Town where it's just like a neutral, peaceful area. You have Udon where there's kind of like a delayed slow effect. You have Kibi where it's just like, I mean, probably a neutral area. Mount Fiji, lava, or just like really hot, so maybe you randomly start taking burn damage. You have Wakumi where it's just normal area, and you have Ringo where you're slowed down because there's snow. Now this doesn't have to be exactly like what I stated. I'm just saying, imagine a BR map where you have certain areas that have extremely better loot, but there's a lot of downsides. So it's like you want to go in there and get the loot fast, or you could stay in there and fight and use the downsides to your advantage. So it's like, there is a lot of opportunity to this, and although it technically isn't really confirmed that we're getting anything for BR mode, if the BR map designer is specifically asking somebody for suggestions, I'm pretty sure that confirms it. But let me know what you actually think about this whole entire video itself. I'm definitely excited for the BR map thing and the Impel down update because it's just cool overall. I also feel like the Venom fruit would probably be introduced in there as well. But yeah, let me know what you think about this video, and if you agree with any of my ideas. I specifically really want to know about like what you think about for the BR map where there's multiple island effects instead of just having a basic map. So outside of that, if you did enjoy this video, like it because you enjoyed the video, and if you didn't, you don't have to do that. I appreciate it, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. I just now said that. Subscribe too if you also enjoyed the video. Yeah.